Ayo, shalom.
Right there. Hey, shalom, shalom. All right. Everybody knows it's the Feast of Trumpets. It's the Feast of Trumpets. We're going to be starting in a second. Give me a second. So I just got here. So what you went over? Just the importance of it?
Significance. Kept inside the time of Nehemiah.
All praises. All praises. We're going to be getting started in a second. Everybody on the YouTube, make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Everybody on fan base, make sure y'all ping into this room. Share wherever you're going to share, right? We'll be starting soon. Give me a second. Today, in this feast day, we will be going over Cornelius. I've had a lot of brothers and sisters be asking me questions about it. So I just decided to tackle it today and go over it in depth. Hopefully, they won't ask me questions about it. What's good, Mayash? Good out? All praises. All praises. Once again, make sure everybody ping into the room. Everybody like, share, subscribe on the YouTube. We'll be starting real soon. Yo, your shot is still out there?
Yep.
Shalom, man. You coming in on hot?
I got some water.
Pause.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, I got a water, brother. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you. Shalom. Well, you can sit right there. You can sit right there. Yeah. All right, we just gonna get it started. Get it started. So, like I said, Barak just opened up the feast day. I don't know where you at, but sundown today is the beginning of the 7th month on the Hebrew calendar, Feast of Trumpets. So he opened that up, talked about the importance of it. We got a lot of feast days coming up. Barak, you want to say it again? The feast days coming up? You don't got to give the date, just the feast days coming up. Other brothers keep it different.
Yeah, we got the Day of Atonement coming, and then Feast of Tabernacles at the end of the month. So it's just important that this month is also the most Sabbath, so we'll be more meticulous with the dates and everything moving forward.
All right, cool, man. Once again, I'm going over Cornelius. I have a lot of people that have asked me questions about it, so I just decided I'm going line upon line and I'm breaking it down, right? But before we go there, Apayak, pull up the first link that I sent you. Need you to be on your game today, brother. Pull up that link. Texas, brother. Tell him hurry up. We gotta move. There you go. I see them sharing it. Put that on the screen now. I don't need the comments. The comments are way right now. All right, so this is just from Bible Gateway. This is the encyclopedia of the Bible that I find on Bible Gateway. I'm just going into a certain part, and I'm going into it for a reason. Everything, remember, I like to paint a picture, and I like to make people understand the historicity of what's going on, especially in the book of Acts, and even before it, to put you in the shoes of somebody in those days, to help you understand why certain things were said in certain ways, right? And don't worry, anybody that wants the links to all of this, just hit me up after class, and I'll send it to y'all, right? So, right, Cornelius, it says, an aristocratic Roman name of standing which can be traced back 2 centuries to the great family of the Scipios. The Cornelius of the New Testament was a centurion of the garrison at Caesarea. He was probably a descendant of one of the freedmen of Cornelius Sulla's day, when early in the 1st century BC, many slaves were freed and established in an expanding Rome. Don't move, I got it. We're good right there. I'm only reading this first paragraph. Society with their patron's name, it is therefore impossible to establish the descent or distant family background of the soldier, right? So, there was a family group known as Cornelius Sulla. And what are they saying here? In the 1st century BC, many of these slaves became freed men. So a lot of the territories, which was 10 main territories that Rome had and occupied, they began to free people. And that's like, i.e., what was Paul? Was a Roman citizen, right? We're going to get there. Go into the next link. I just want to show something real quick, and we're going to get to these scriptures. Go on to the next link. All right, so you see that? Zoom into that picture right there. Now, Barack, let me ask you a question. Whenever the nose is off on the statue, what does that indicate?
That's the main feature that they know pertains to someone of Negroid features.
They always chop off a nose. And for some reason, Cornelius Sulla, right? This man right here, his nose is chopped off. Just like they did with the Sphinx, even though we ain't no damn Egyptians. But they do that all throughout all the regions where so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have ruled. Right? I just want to put that out there, right? Now let's get, you can take that off the screen. Let's go to 1 Peter 3 and 12. 1 Peter 3 and 12.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous.
So the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous. Come on.
And his ears are open unto their prayers.
And his ears are open unto whose prayers? Mayash. Whose prayers are the Lord's ears open to?
The righteous saints.
The righteous. Read.
And his ears are open unto their prayers, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
Now what does it mean to be righteous? Precept. Go ahead, come on. I see you itching over there.
Deuteronomy 6.
Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Let's read that. Deuteronomy 6 and 25. You can read it if you got it.
God, so the Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 25.
Nice and loud.
And it shall be our righteousness.
And it shall be what?
It shall be our righteousness.
Now, the previous scripture I went to, 1 Peter 3 and 12, it says, for the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and the ears, and his ears are open unto their prayers. Now, what does it mean to be righteous? Read that.
And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us.
So to be righteous in the Most High's eyes is to keep his commandments. Y'all understand that? All right, go into the next one. Abaya, go into that link real quick, and then we're going to dive into Acts 10. Go into that link real quick. Now, yeah, where it says biblical account, right? That's what I'm going to read. Go right there. Yep. So this is just quick Wikipedia, right? But I'm going to show you something, right? In the biblical account, if you just type in Cornelius, the centurion, go on Wikipedia, go scroll down the biblical account. Watch this. It says Cornelius was a centurion in the cohort second Italica Civum, whatever, some Latin junk. Mentioned as, once again, cohors Italica in the Vulgate. He was stationed in Caesarea, the capital of a Roman Judea province. So where is the Caesarea? Because there's 3 of them, if you look at that region. Now, where was Cornelius at?
Judea.
In Judea. That has to be understood. Con? That's the only reason why I went here. Right? Because they, Wikipedia don't go to some madness. You could eat unclean. Anyway, now let's go to Acts. Let's go to Acts. 10 and 1. We're going to go verse for verse. Because Christians only like to go a couple places here. They think they're doing something. Let's go verse for verse. I'm going to give y'all a lot of ammunition today. Go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 10 and verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea.
Now, what did we just read? Most scholars say that the Caesarea that they're speaking about in Acts 10 is where? In the province of Judea. Read.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Now, what do Christians would do here? Well, it's an Italian band. That's the first place they're gonna go to is right there. The Roman military is not homogeneous. Anybody know what that means?
Huh?
What does that mean?
It means it's one people group.
No, it's not one people.
No, I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
that's
but
what
homogeneous
means.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You cut me. Correct. Now I'm playing. So that's what it means, right? So the Roman army wasn't that at all. There was many different people groups that were part of the Roman army, especially within the 10 main provinces that Rome had and the people that they subjected. You don't think they took those people and made them part of their military? That has to be understood. Has to be understood. And it happened during a certain time, right? And it's around the same time where this family that passed down their name Cornelius in the 1st century BC, when slaves were being freed. We're going to get it. Go to the next article real quick. In the World History Encyclopedia, the Marian Reforms. We're going to read a little bit of it, right? Get that next article. Because a lot of people would see this and they just think it's a bunch of white dudes in the military. It's not even like that in America. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. All right, so this is the Marian Reforms, right? Zoom in out. The Marian Reforms were a set of the reforms introduced to the Roman army in the late 2nd century BCE by Roman general and politician Gaius Marius. Through these reforms, the Roman army was transformed from a semi-professional militia to a professional fighting force. Right? Now we're going to scroll down a little bit. I want to go to the bullet points. Scroll down after that. This dude look crazy. Scroll up to him real quick. Look at this guy. Look at this Roman. All right, go back now. I don't want to see him no more. I don't want to see him. Look at this guy. All right, zoom into those points. Shalom, Maya. Right? So it says, Marius reforms can be summarized into the following points. Inclusion of the common people. So what did they begin to do in the 2nd century, primarily the 1st century BC? Inclusion of the common people. All of the 10 provinces that Rome was, they began to include the people that they subjected underneath their senators and their politicians, they began to let them enter into their military. Right? That's part of the bullet points right here. Very simple. Right? Now read Acts 10 and 1 again.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 1. There was a certain band in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
So just because it says Italian band, it shows nothing to who this person is. But as you begin to read the context of this chapter, there were certain clues within this chapter itself that shows who Cornelius was and what he was following after. Go to the next source. It's going to be Josephus. Get Josephus out. Go to the next source out. Page 335. Page 335, book 13, chapter 2, section 3. Line 46 to 57. We're not going to read all of it. Matter of fact, yeah, we can. Zoom into that. Make the picture a little big. All right, boom. That's good right there. Yeah, read that.
So,
this is from Josephus, right? And this is the time he was contemporary with. So this is these are some of the most perfect people to listen to. Right? You got it? If you don't, read it from here. Let's read it from there.
it says, I also make free all those Jews who have been made captives and slaves in my kingdom.
Now, when did that happen? We just read it. We just read it from the Marcius Reform. They began to free slaves and then make them part of their military, right? And we're going to talk about that later. The eligibilities that you were able to do and the things you were able to do while you were a Roman citizen, right? You have something?
It was an observation, but not to do with this.
All right, come.
It says, I also give order that the beasts of the Jews be not pressed for our service, and let their Sabbaths and all their festivals, and 3 days before each of them, be free from any public burdens.
Go ahead.
I likewise set free the Jews that dwell in my kingdom, in order that no injury be done to them. I also give leave to such of them as are willing to enlist in my army.
And what?
In my army.
So the Jews were able to enlist in the Romans' army. Go ahead.
That as many as 30,000 may do so, which Jewish soldiers, wherever they go, shall have the same pay that my own army has.
Now you good right there. We got the point. We got the point right there. That Jews were able to join what? The Roman army. Very simple. Right? Let's go to the next source. I know I'm killing y'all with sources. It's a lot here. But you know this is what I do. And then we're going to definitely go line upon line. Go to the next source. Go read that. This is a little blurry, but there you go. Zoom in a little bit out. I got this one from Priest Daniela right here. Oh, this is a really good one. Right? The book is called Makers of Ancient Strategy. Don't zoom in out, it's blurry, brother. Makers of Ancient Strategy. Now go down to the paragraph. It's a little blurry. Right? Go ahead, read that.
It says, in this example and in others that can be discussed from around the empire, it is difficult to distinguish the Romans from their subjects.
Say that again.
It is difficult to distinguish.
It's difficult to distinguish the Roman from their subjects. Go ahead.
A procedure made even more complicated because natives, when enfranchised,
so people in their own lands, when enfranchised, which is the special word for like colonization or being conquered over. Go ahead.
A procedure made even more complicated because natives, when enfranchised, took Roman names.
Took Roman names. I mean, we do it now. We have English names and Spanish names and French names and Portuguese names. Right? Except for Dr. Umar. I don't know what's up with that guy. His name is like... What? How you say it? How you say it? Ifatunde. Go ahead. Keep reading. All right.
Many cannot be distinguished in the historical record from ethnic Italians.
Go ahead.
For example, while several of Herod's military officers had Roman names.
While several of Herod's military officers had Roman names. Go ahead.
We do not know if they were enfranchised Jews.
We didn't know if they were Jews. Go ahead.
Or soldiers imported or borrowed from Rome's legionary army.
So they couldn't tell whether these men were Jews or not because they had Roman names. There's nothing new under the sun,
right?
At all. That's what has to be understood. Let's go to the next source. Next source. I believe it's the book, or not a book, it's really like a paper. It's like a long article. A little quicker, man. Quicker with the IT, brother. What's going on? You sharing it? There you go. All right, go down. Go down to the first page. All right, right there. So go ahead, read that.
The sons of Israel in Caesar's service.
Sons of Israel in Caesar's service. Go ahead.
Jewish soldiers.
Soldiers in the Roman military. Go ahead.
Says the participation of Roman Jewish soldiers in the armies of Imperial Rome often goes unrecognized. This is mainly a result of a lack of recognition on the part of scholars who wish to use rabbinic sources as the benchmark for Jewish practice in the imperial age.
Go ahead.
It is also difficult to identify Jewish soldiers, many of whom had Greek and Latin names.
Say it again.
Many of whom had Greek and Latin names.
What you talking about, Israelite? His name was Cornelius. That's not a Jewish name. Do you not know what the hell was going on during that time? Go ahead.
Unless they are specifically identified as Jews or are found in a Jewish context, such as dedicatory inscriptions from a synagogue.
Go ahead.
Nonetheless, by using a variety of sources from the period, it is possible to appreciate the depth and breadth of Jewish service in the Roman legions from the time of Caesar down to the early 5th century. There were Jews who served as simple foot soldiers, influential generals like...
Influential generals like who?
Tiberius Julius Alexander.
Tiberius Julius Alexander. Anybody knows who that is? He said Tiberius, brother. That's his name.
No, that's the name of dude in Luke. One of the Caesars. So them having names of
right. Right. We're gonna get into him in a second too, a little bit. Go ahead.
And Jewish military units such as the Regi, the Messeni,
that's
Judea.
Yeah. Judea.
Regardless of their relationship to Orthodox Jewish communities of the time, the service of Roman Jews in the imperial army forces must be recognized.
Now, that's simple, right? And the article goes on, but I just want to read that for you. Now, read Acts 10:1 again with all of this historical context in your mind. Read it again.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 1. There's a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Called the what?
Called the Italian band.
Now, were there Jews in Italy?
Lately.
Yeah, right? Now let's go to Acts 18:1. Let's see the Bible talking.
This is Acts chapter 18 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus.
Where was he born?
Pontus. Lately come from Italy.
Hold on, where he came from?
Lately come from Italy.
Are there Jews in Italy? There you go. Let's go to Acts 2. Let's go to the classic. Acts 2. Start at verse 5 to show the context and jump down to verse 10.
Acts chapter 2 and verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men.
What are they?
Devout men.
Read.
Out of every nation under heaven.
Out of every nation under heaven. Let's jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome.
And what?
And strangers of Rome.
And strangers of Rome. So there were Jews in Rome, and there were Jews in all of the provinces of Rome in their military. Right? Now, we said Paul was a Roman citizen, right? Let's get Acts 22 and 24, but go into the G&T. Right? Yeah, make it a little plainer. Go into the G&T. Acts 22 and verse 24. Start there.
This is Acts chapter 22 and verse 24, the G&T. It says the Roman commander ordered his men to take Paul into the fort, and he told them to whip him in order to find out why the Jews were screaming like this against him. Well, when they had tied him up to be whipped, Paul said to the officer standing there, "Is it lawful for you to whip a Roman citizen?"
Say it again.
Is it lawful for you to whip a Roman citizen who hasn't even been tried for any crime?
Go ahead.
When the officer heard this, he went to the commander and asked him, "What are you doing? That man is a Roman citizen."
So what was Paul? Is that hard to understand? Let's get it. Go ahead. You can say something.
One of the articles you outlined also said, the Jews in I think it was on the makers of the strategy. It also said that Jew being called a Roman was a social status.
It was a social status, right? Let's get Acts 16 and 37 in the G&T. Acts 16 and 37 in the G&T. Let's make it a little plainer, right?
This is Acts chapter 16 and verse 37. But Paul said to the police officers, "We were not found guilty of any crime, yet they whipped us in public, and we are Roman citizens."
You see that? Just giving you some more arsenal. Paul was a Roman citizen. Let's get Acts 25 and 16. Again in the G&T. The Good News translation. I feel like that's what Christians say before they read it. It's the good news, brother.
25:17.
Yeah, read that. 25:16. My bad. It's the good news.
This is Acts chapter 25 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
But I told them that we Romans are not in the habit of handing over any who are accused of a crime before they have met their accusers face to face and have had the chance of defending themselves against the accusation.
Because Roman citizens had certain rights and privileges that others didn't.
Just like
If you-
citizens and other countries.
It's just like an immigrant. If an immigrant comes here, there are certain stipulations that he has to go by. If you have a visa, there's certain stipulations you have to go by. An American citizen is completely different. It was the same thing with Rome. I mean, we're in modern day Rome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get Luke. Go to Luke 3. Luke 3, and I believe it starts at verse 12. Show you something else. Right, then we're going to jump right back to Acts.
This is Luke chapter 3 and verse 12. Then came also publicans to be baptized and said unto him, Master, what shall we do? And he said unto them, Exact no more than that which is appointed you. And the soldiers
And the what?
and the soldiers
And the what?
and the soldiers
Go ahead.
likewise demanded of him, saying, And what shall we do? And he said unto them, Do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages.
You see that? And the soldiers. Where were these soldiers?
In Judea.
In Judea. So were all of them heathens. Not saying heathens weren't there, but were all of them heathens? La. Now let's go to that. Even for instance, one of the publicans. You know, Matthew was a publican. A publican is a tax collector. Right. Now let's go to that source real quick with Tiberius Julius Alexander. I think this is a man that all of y'all should really study. We're just gonna read one paragraph, right? Yeah, read that for me, Bible.
Tiberius Julius Alexander was an equestrian governor in general in the Roman Empire.
Now remember, the other source said he was a Jew. Go ahead.
Born into a wealthy Jewish family of Alexandria, but abandoning.
But what?
But abandoning.
But abandoning. Go ahead.
Or neglecting.
Or what?
Or neglecting.
Or neglecting. What is he abandoning and neglecting?
The Jewish religion.
The Jewish religion. The law, statutes, and commandments. You got something, my house?
This is a question.
Go ahead.
Is this Tiberius the same one that is in Luke chapter 3, verse 1?
Go ahead.
He rose to become the second procurator of Judea under Claudius. While prefect of Egypt, he employed his legions against the Alexandrian Jews in a brutal response to ethnic violence.
Go ahead.
It was instrumental in the emperor Vespasian's rise to power.
Watch this.
In 70.
And what?
In 70.
And what?
In 70.
Go ahead.
He participated.
In 70 what?
AD.
What did he participate in? This is a Jew participating in the destruction of Jerusalem. Go ahead. Gotta watch out for these
70
Jews.
AD.
Go ahead.
He participated in the siege of Jerusalem as Titus' second in command.
Second in command. Now, if you study Tiberius,
He was the one. That was the one.
if you study Tiberius, he was the mastermind behind the destruction of the temple. A Jew. It'd be our own, man. It'd be our own. Probably was Judah, man. That's my doctrine. No, I'm playing. But for real, man, this is the craziness. Our own people stabbing us in the back. You see that? Read Acts 10 and 1 again. Well, all of that in your mind, all of those precepts, all of that history. Read Acts 10 and 1 again. You could drop that source there.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Go ahead.
A devout man, and one that feared God with all his house.
A what? A
devout man.
A devout man. Now, what did Acts 2 and 5 say? Devout men, right? Out of where? Every nation under heaven. Get Acts 22 and 12. Let's make the scriptures make sense.
This is Acts chapter 22 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
And one Ananias, a devout man, according to the law, having a good report of all.
Say that again? What did you say?
A devout man according to the law.
A devout man according to what?
To the law.
Remember, what does the Bible do? It explains itself.
Right.
So he was a devout man according to the law. So to be a devout man, what are you doing?
Keeping the law.
Keeping the law. You see how simple that is?
Right.
It's not hard. It's not hard to understand. Get Luke 2 and 25. Luke 2 and 25.
This is Luke chapter 2 and verse 25. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon. The same man was just,
Was what?
and devout,
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him.
Now the Holy Spirit cannot go into what? A malicious soul. Scriptures. A malicious soul. Right? The Holy Spirit is what? Wisdom. Wisdom cometh by discipline. This is all in the wisdom of Solomon, by the way. Wisdom cometh by discipline. The only way to discipline yourself is to do what? Keep the laws of God. So this man, being devout and just, what was he doing?
He was keeping the laws.
So to be devout, what do you have to do? So what was Cornelius doing?
Keeping the law.
You see how simple that is? Italian band, brother. Go back to Acts 10. Read verse 2 again.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
A devout man and one that feared God with all his house,
Mhm.
which gave much alms to the people,
Which gave much alms to the people
and prayed to God always.
and prayed to God all the time. Go ahead.
He saw in the vision evidently about the ninth hour.
About the what?
About the ninth hour.
Anybody know when the 9th hour is? And why is that significant?
Hour of prayer.
It's the what?
Hour of prayer.
It's the hour of prayer. And anybody knows what time that is? Like today? Like
About 3:30.
about 3:30. You know, scholars say between 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock, but it's all that area. Right? Because it was according to where the sun was during that time. Right? So that was the hour of prayer. Right? Now, how many times a day did Jews pray? 3 times. Let's get that in the scriptures. Go to Psalms 55 and 17. Let's go there first.
Psalm chapter 55 and verse 17. Evening.
Am I going too fast?
No, you're gonna.
All right, all praises. Yeah.
Says evening and morning and at noon
Evening, morning, and in noon. Go ahead.
will I pray.
That's 3 times, right? I can count. I know the Trinitarians can't count, but I can count. Right? Go ahead.
Evening, morning, and at noon will I pray.
Uh-huh.
Cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice.
And ye shall hear my voice. Get Daniel 6 and 10 in the ERV. Y'all like, what's that?
Right.
In the ERV, the English Revised Version. Shout out to the Bible publicators. The English Revised Version, the ERV, Daniel 6 and 10. It just makes it plain. That's why I'm going there.
Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10 in the ERV.
Go ahead.
Daniel always prayed to God 3 times every day.
3 times every day. Finish it up.
3 times every day, he bowed down on his knees to pray and praise God.
Mhm.
Even though Daniel heard about the new law, he still went to his house to pray.
Mhm.
He went up to the upper room of his house
Go ahead.
and opened the windows
Mhm.
that faced toward Jerusalem.
Face toward Jerusalem. The east. Well, our east. Wouldn't be his east during that time. But go ahead, finish it up.
Then Daniel bowed down on his knees and prayed just as he always had done.
So, what is the first precept we read? Anybody remember?
55 and 17.
Mm-mm. The first precept of the class.
First Peter 3:12.
1 Peter 3 and 12. Read that again. Mm-hmm.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers.
Unto whose prayers? The righteous. To be righteous, you have to do what? Keep the laws, which also shows you what a devout man is. You see how all of it's beginning to make sense? Let's go to Hebrews 1 and 14 in the GNT. The Good News Translation. Watch this. Watch what it says.
Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
The GNT. What are angels then? They are spirits who serve God and are sent by him to help those who are to receive salvation.
Who are what?
Who are sent to those
So the angels are sent to those. Go ahead.
Are sent by him to help those who are to receive salvation.
Who's to receive salvation? Let's just go two places. Let's just go to John 4:22. Right? So the angels are sent to those who are to receive salvation. John 4:22. Let's go there first and we'll go one more place.
John chapter 4 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Ye worship ye know not what.
Ye worship ye know not what. Go ahead.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews. Acts 5. You know what I want. You know exactly what I want.
So look at Acts chapter 5 and verse 29.
Go to the point. Go to 31.
Huh?
Yep.
So look at Acts chapter 5 and 31.
Go ahead.
Him hath God exalted.
Christ has God exalted. Go ahead.
With his right hand.
Go ahead.
To be a prince
Uh-huh.
and a savior.
Go ahead.
For to give repentance to Israel.
Uh-huh.
And forgiveness of sins.
So who is salvation for? Read Hebrews 1 and 14 again in the GNT.
Hebrews chapter 1 and 14 in the GNT.
Mm-hmm.
What are the angels then? They are spirits who serve God and are sent by him to help those who are to receive salvation.
And to help those who are to receive salvation. So we know salvation is only for the Israelites. Read verse 3 again. All of it's going to make sense. Read verse 3 in Acts 10.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
He saw in the vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day an angel.
A what?
An angel.
And angels only come to those who are to receive salvation. Go ahead.
An angel of God coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and
Thy what?
Thy prayers.
Thy prayers, go ahead.
And thine alms are come up for a memorial before God.
Are come up for a memorial before God. Get Revelation 8. Let's go to Revelation 8. Shalom, Mark. Revelation 8 and start at verse 1.
Revelation chapter 8 and verse 1. When he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the 7 angels that stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets.
Hey, ain't a coincidence, right? It speaks the trumpets. Go ahead.
And another angel came and stood at the altar having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints.
Of what?
Of all
Who
saints.
the saints? The children of Israel. Right? So the prayers of all saints, go ahead.
Of all saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne.
Which was before the throne. Now let's go to Tobit. This is my Apocrypha, right? Let's go to Tobit. 12, 15 to the point. You know what I want.
So book of Tobit, chapter 12, and verse 15. I am Raphael, one of the 7
So
holy
Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels. What is he in charge of?
which present the prayers of the saints.
Which present the prayers of the what?
Of the saints.
Go ahead.
And which go in and out before the glory of the holy ones.
So what is the picture I'm painting here? Somebody help me out. Let's see if y'all are paying attention to class.
So you demonstrate who the saints are, and their prayers are being offered up before the Most High God.
Basically,
Closing off. Hurry up, Bob. The faster you move, the better it is.
closing off areas to where Christians can be like, oh, Cornelius is not an Israelite. You can most likely hear their prayers, right? So you're basically taking it on a turn by closing those sections off, by showing that salvation only belongs to us at the same time. All proving Cornelius is a Jew.
Exactly. Just take a seat, brother. You don't got to salute everybody. Take a seat out. Appreciate you. Go back to Acts 10.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 4. And when you looked on him, he was afraid and said, "What is it, Lord?" And he said unto him, "Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God."
For a memorial before God. So this is the prayer of the saints that's coming up for a memorial before God. You understand? So let's look. This is only 4 verses. And I've already painted the picture that Cornelius is an Israelite. Let's just go over some bullet points. An Italian band doesn't mean anything because Jews were in the Roman army. He was a devout man, so he kept the law. He was found praying on the 9th hour, which is a part of the day that Jews prayed towards the temple in Jerusalem. And he's seen an angel that is answering his prayers, which is only to the children of Israel by the angel Raphael. You see that? See how simple that is? Let's keep connecting dots. Go to Acts 10 and 5.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And now sent men to Joppa and called for one Simon, whose surname is Peter.
Mm-hmm.
He lodged with one Simon, a tanner.
A what?
A tanner.
A tanner. Go ahead.
Whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do.
Now, what's a tanner?
Somebody works with leather.
Somebody that works with leather. Anybody know the significance of this? Why I'm pointing this out? Go to the video, Apayat. Anybody know? It's all right. You're going to learn it.
That's a skilled profession.
Go ahead. Press play. We're going to watch this crazy.
Tannery is infamous as the foulest smelling place in all of Fez, Morocco. Tanning hides may be dirty and smelly work, but somebody has to do it. Every day, 17-year-old Mohsin must wind his way through the ancient alleyways of Fez. He is following in the footsteps of the countless generations who have labored before him in this 600-year-old tannery.
I knew about the smell because before dropping out of school, I used to come help my father in the tannery. My first time here, the smell was terrible. I felt like I was suffocating. I couldn't bear it. But after a while, I no longer noticed it at all.
After just 3 years here, Mohsin's tenure has been relatively brief, but his father, Abdel, has been breathing in the tannery stench for more than 3 decades. Each delivery of skins fresh from the slaughter means the start of a stinking,
You can stop it, right?
process.
The point I'm bringing this up, right? So if you study the process of tanning, they would take this filthy animal skin, right, and purify it and refurbish it into beautiful leather, right? Why is that important before he gets this vision? What were the Israelites?
They were unclean.
They were what?
They were unclean.
They were unclean. We were to be cleansed. Right? Let's go here real quick. Let's go to I believe it's Ephesians. Ephesians 2 and 1. Go to Ephesians 2 and 1. I'm not even supposed to go there, but I'll show you something. Okay?
It's the book of Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1. And you hath he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and
You
sins.
see that? So he brought back to life who were dead in their sins. Now, what does a tanner do? This is important. These little things here, you have to understand. The scriptures are painting you a picture. A tanner was somebody who took dead skins and made it into pure refurbished leather so people can wear it. So priests can wear it. So many people of high status can wear it. Leather was not something that you could just throw around. Military wore it, right? A lot of high people that had high status throughout the ancient world, they wore that. So what the Most High is showing you here before the vision is Peter will take dead animal skin and purify it. Just as the apostles were sent to do with the children of Israel. Take men who were dead in their trespasses and sins and bring them onto the same sanctification that can only come through Christ. The knowledge and the wisdom that can only come through Christ. And then we begin to repent and keep these laws. God? All right, let's go. Let's keep reading in Acts. Let me go backwards. Yeah.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 6. He lodgeth with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do.
Go ahead.
And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called.
Do me a favor, close that door.
He called 2 of his household servants.
Go ahead.
And a devout soldier.
Go ahead.
Of them that waited on him continually.
Go ahead.
And when he had declared all those things unto them, he sent them to Joppa. On the morrow, as they went on their journey, and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
About the 6th hour. Another time when what? Jews prayed towards the temple. Go ahead.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten.
He became very hungry. Go ahead.
But while they had made ready, he fell into a trance.
He fell into a trance. Get Hosea 12 and 10. One of my favorites. Go to Hosea 12 and 10.
So book of Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
I have also spoken by the prophets.
Go ahead.
And have multiplied visions.
Go ahead.
And used similitudes.
Similitude. So what he's about to see right here, Peter, is a similitude. All right? That's what he's about to see. Keep reading. Finish it up.
By the ministry of the prophets.
By the ministry of the prophets. Go ahead.
Verse 11.
No. Back to Acts.
No,
you're good.
Come. And he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven open.
And saw heaven open. Go ahead.
And a certain vessel.
And a what?
And a certain vessel.
And a certain vessel. What is this certain vessel? Hands. Ain't no hands, I guess. Nah. What I want to say, I want a precept. Now I want to say precepts. If you don't got a precept, decide to keep your hand down. We don't know I don't know everything. Each one teach one, right? Let's go to Hosea 8 and 8. Back to Hosea. Okay?
Hosea chapter 8 and verse 8.
Watch this.
Israel is swallowed up.
Say it again.
Israel is swallowed up.
Go ahead.
Now shall there be among the Gentiles as a vessel.
As a what?
As a vessel.
As a what?
As a vessel.
Who's the vessel? The Israelites. Go ahead.
As a vessel wherein there is no pleasure.
As a vessel wherein there is no pleasure. Read Acts 10 and 11 again from the top.
And when saw heaven open and a certain vessel descending upon them.
A certain vessel descending upon them. Remember, this is the similitude to represent. This is a vision, and this similitude is representing the children of Israel. Okay?
And a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet.
A great sheet, okay?
Knit at the 4 corners.
At the 4 corners. What does this mean? Hands. Mayash.
Isaiah chapter 11.
Read it.
It's Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Go ahead.
Which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather them together, the dispersed of Judah, from the 4 corners.
From the what?
From the 4 corners of the earth. The envy also of Egypt.
Nah, that's good there. That's good there. Get Deuteronomy 32 and 26. And somebody else get Ezekiel 12 and 15. Paint the picture more. Go ahead. Read that in
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 26.
Go ahead.
I said I would scatter them into corners.
Go ahead.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Read that in Ezekiel 12 and 15.
Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
And they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall scatter them among the nations and disperse them to the countries.
You see that? So we were scattered among the nations, and we were a vessel that had no pleasure. amongst the Gentiles. Right? Read 11 again. With all those precepts and that understanding in your mind, right? We're going to keep painting the picture, huh? 26.
What was that, Ezekiel?
Huh?
15?
Yeah.
This is Acts chapter 10 and verse 11. And saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth.
All manner of four-footed beasts of the earth. Go ahead.
And wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air.
And fowls of the air. What did this... Now, everybody, I'm pretty sure we've read this chapter, right? But we're going to show through the precepts what this is, right? Because you're going to have to make this make sense to that everyday Christian, right? Let's get Nahum 3 and 6. Nahum 3 and 6. A couple brothers like Nahum. I ain't never read that, brother.
The book of Nahum, chapter 3, and verse 6.
There's a book called Nahum? Go ahead.
And I will cast abominable filth
Go ahead.
upon thee.
I will what?
I will cast abominable filth upon thee.
I will cast abominable filth upon thee. Go ahead.
And make thee vile.
And make thee vile. Right? Go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. So he's going to cast filth and make the children of Israel vile.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Read.
I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
That they themselves are what?
Are beasts.
That they themselves are beasts. So when he's having this vision, right? He sees the vessel, the four corners, and now he's seeing beasts. Right? Y'all walking with me? All right, let's go to Hosea. Hosea 2. Hosea chapter 2.
Top.
Nope, 17.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 2 and verse 17. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name.
So he's going to take the names out of Baalim, or Baalim, however the hell you pronounce it, out of the children of Israel's mouth, which represents what? Idolatry. Go ahead. And they shall no more, we read it from there.
And they shall no more be remembered by their name.
Now, what was that name that they were being called? All these other titles. In the previous chapter, in Hosea 1, they were cut off from being a people. You understand? So these people here were being called after the names of other nations. Read that again.
For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth.
Go ahead.
And they shall no more be remembered by their name.
Go ahead.
And in that day, I will make a covenant for them.
He's going to make a covenant. Go ahead.
And in that day, I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field.
With the what?
With the beasts of the field.
Go ahead.
And with the fowls of heaven.
Go ahead.
And with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely.
What are these beasts? The children of Israel. That's what this is talking about. This is the children of Israel, man. That's why you see right here in Acts, when he's saying all of this manner of four-footed beasts of the earth and wild beasts and creeping things and fowls of the air. He's talking about the children of Israel that's scattered across the four corners of the earth, that is following after all these other nations. Hosea 2, y'all should take time to read this yourself one day, is completely prophetic of the return of Christ. That's what this is talking about. That's why they're going to lie down in safety. Read 19. We're going to go to verse 20.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 2 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
And I will betroth thee unto me.
And I will
forever.
what?
And I will betroth thee unto me forever.
And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Go ahead.
Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercy.
Read the next verse.
I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh.
What does it mean to betroth?
To promise to marry.
Promise to marry. What are we bidding people to?
Marriage.
In Matthew 22:9. Let's read it. See how all of this making sense?
It's the book of Matthew chapter 22 and verse 9. Go ye therefore into the highways and bid as many as ye shall find. Bid to the marriage.
Bid to the marriage. Right? Let's go to Jeremiah 11 and 13. Jeremiah 11 and 13.
Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 13. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal.
Go ahead.
Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or a prayer for them, for I will not hear them at the time that they cry unto me for their trouble.
Go ahead.
What hath my beloved to do in mine house, seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee? When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
Now this is a precept of Romans 11. To show you the people in Romans 11 are Israelites being grafted back in. You see it right here. Now these people were in idolatry. These people needed to be cleansed. Keep reading. We're going to go to verse 20.
For the Lord of hosts that planted thee hath pronounced evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah,
The evil of the house of Israel and Judah. Go ahead.
which they have done against themselves to provoke me to anger, and offering incense unto Baal.
Go ahead.
And the Lord hath given me knowledge of it, and I know it. Then thou showest me their doings. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered.
Finish it up.
But, O Lord of hosts, that judgest righteously, that triest the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them, for unto thee have I revealed my cause.
So you see that? The children of Israel was going off, man. We were killing the prophets. We were like beasts upon the earth, following after other nations, doing idolatry, right? Bunch of spiritual whoredoms, man, and literal whoredoms. We were doing a lot of stuff. We still do to this day, our people, man, right? Let's go back to Acts. Read verse 12 again, and we're going to keep reading.
Acts chapter 10.
Everybody understand so far?
Wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Go ahead.
And Peter said, Not so, Lord. For
Now, these Christians will go ahead and say you can eat them. I don't know how they see that there. It's ridiculous. You could eat unclean food. Look at the vision. This vision had nothing to do with eating. It's a parable. He's dreaming about that pork. Like, God. Read it again. Verse 13.
And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common.
Peter said, I ain't never eaten nothing common or unclean, man. Okay?
And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
What God has cleansed, that call not thou common. That's important. Let's get Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37. Start at 23.
The book of Ezekiel.
Everybody knows what Ezekiel 37 is talking about? The valley of dry bones. The two sticks. The nation coming back together. Read.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and I will cleanse them.
And I will what?
And will cleanse them.
And I will what?
And will cleanse them.
What did he say in Acts?
And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed.
With what?
What God hath cleansed.
What God has cleansed.
That call not thou common.
What did he say here in Ezekiel? Read Ezekiel again.
Huh?
Not from the top, brother. Right?
I got you.
I appreciate it.
But will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them.
And will cleanse them. Go ahead.
So shall they be my people, and I will be their God.
So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. Get Ephesians 5 and 26. And somebody else get Ezekiel 36. We're going to jump back a chapter. Ephesians 5 and 26.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 5 and 26.
You mean Ephesians, my good brother.
Salaki. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it.
And what?
That he might sanctify and cleanse it.
Go ahead.
With the washing of water by the word.
With the washing of water by the word. You see? This is all promised to who? Israel, because this all goes back to previous prophecies that were dealing with the children of Israel. Let's go to Ezekiel 36 now and start at verse 22.
It says Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 22. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, I do this not for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. And I will sanctify my great name.
And I will what?
Sanctify my great name.
Come on.
Which was profaned among the heathen.
Which was what?
Profaned among the heathen.
Which was profaned among the heathen. Go ahead. Get that. Stop right there. Get Romans 2 and 24 real quick.
The book of Romans chapter 2 and verse 24.
Which shows you these Gentiles here that are being spoken about in Romans 2 are Israelites. Go ahead.
For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you.
Through who?
Through you.
Through you. Go back to Ezekiel 36.
Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 23. Which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes.
Go ahead.
For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land.
And what is he going to do?
Then I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean.
And ye shall be clean. Go ahead.
From all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you.
Now go back to Acts 10 and read that verse again.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
What God has cleansed, that call not thou common. Because he was promised to cleanse and justify the children of Israel through the blood of Christ. And us coming back and keeping the laws underneath the faith of Christ. Making sense? See how simple this is? It's really not that hard to understand. Let's get one more. Let's get Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30 and 17.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they called thee an outcast.
They called thee a what?
An outcast.
They called thee an outcast. Common, unclean. Get them away from me. We ain't dealing with those heathens. Them Greeks, them Scythians, them barbarians. We not dealing with them. Go ahead.
Because they called thee an outcast,
they called thee an outcast, saying,
this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after.
You see that? Keep reading.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 16. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself with this vision which he had.
Now Peter's like, well, what does this vision mean? I don't understand it. Okay? But who understands it now?
We do. We do.
We do. Right? Let's get that in Peter's real quick. Show you. Let's get that in Peter's. That's 2 Peter's 1 and 19. You know what I want? Yep, 1 and 19.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 19.
Okay.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy.
Say it again.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy.
We have a more sure word of prophecy, man. Especially right now. Because it was prophesied for a very long time. We were going to no longer have the truth. But the truth was to come back when? Before the return of Christ. Right? Let's get that real quick. My bad. I just got precept going off in my head. 2nd Ezra 6. Oh, it's in 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 28. 2nd Ezra 6 and 28. So we have a more sure word of prophecy. That's why we're able to go into the book now and break things down that have not been broken down for eons, man. For a very long time. Okay?
2nd Ezra chapter 6.
28, yes, sir.
2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 28. As for faith,
go ahead.
it shall flourish.
It shall flourish. Go ahead.
Corruption shall be overcome.
Corruption shall be overcome. Go ahead.
And the truth.
And the what?
And the truth.
And the truth. Go ahead.
Which hath been so long without fruit.
Which was so long without fruit. The truth was not upon the earth. Go ahead.
Shall be declared.
Shall be declared. That's what we're doing now. We're declaring the truth. We're teaching people the prophecies of this Bible. What this really means. What Paul was really talking about. Who Christ came for. Right? Go back to Acts. Right? Yeah.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 17. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house, and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, behold, 3 men seek thee.
You see that? So now, Peter's beginning to understand this vision. That he wasn't talking about take this food and eat it. That's not what this vision was about. It was about these men that's visiting him. That this was to be a message that all of the scattered Israelites were to come back to the fold.
Right.
Go ahead.
Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise therefore and get thee down and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius and said, behold, I am he whom ye seek. What is the cause wherefore ye are come? And they said, Cornelius, the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth God. So
he's a just man, right? We already showed that through the precepts. That means keeping the commandments, right? One that fears God. Go ahead.
A just man and one that feareth God, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews.
And of good report among all the nation of the Jews. So they'd be like, he can't be a Jew, because right here it says he was a good report among the Jews. How would you argue around that?
That doesn't say
Would
anything.
you say that he's son of them?
Nah, I'm gonna give you another precept.
Would you say that he's son of them because of that?
I don't know what he is. I can't give a definitive answer whether he's northern or southern. I can't give that answer.
I was saying that because the Jews consist of southern, which is the majority of that time were the Pharisees, and the Pharisees never did nothing with the northerns. So,
but the Pharisees also didn't do nothing with the southerners, because they was meant like the scriptures speak about two main factions. You have the Pharisees and the Sadducees, but you also have the Essenes. You have many different sects of the Zealots. You have many different factions of Jews during that time that primarily were Southern Kingdom, especially Levi. You know, the Essenes had a certain lineage that they could date back to the children of Zadok. So they believed they were the chosen people that were to rise up. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother lesson.
Yeah, I was saying
that's a whole nother lesson.
Only dealing with the Jews, you know, they had no dealings with them, with the northern brothers.
Right.
I was thinking about that, the fact that if you got a good report from them, it means in some way they must have heard about you. You know, they're okay with you doing what you're doing.
But how would you prove that through the precepts?
Every black guy named Cornelius.
Get out of here, man. I'm gonna show you.
I got two Acts.
What you got?
I got Acts 22 and 12.
Nope, we already read that.
25 and 8.
Say it again.
25 and 8.
25 and 8. Did I read that earlier? Let's see what you got, brother. Let's see. Shoot from the hip. Yeah.
It's the book of Acts chapter 25 and verse 8. While he answered for himself, neither against the law of the Jews, neither against the temple, nor yet against Caesar have I offended anything at all.
Okay, why would you go here?
So he said he's of good report. So he hasn't offended any of the law, statutes, and commandments before the Jews.
But who is this?
Well, this right here is talking about Paul.
Okay, but you can prove Paul's a literal Jew, though.
Right.
How can you prove? I'm going to show you. Okay. Let's get Esther 10 and 3.
That's an investigation right there. That's a deep investigation.
Got the case, bro.
Esther chapter 10 and verse 3.
Watch this.
For Mordecai the Jew was next.
So Mordecai the Jew
was next unto the king Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed.
So what was he good among? Right? Read it again.
For Mordecai the Jew was next unto the king Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed.
So Mordecai was great among the Jews, and he was a Jew. So to be honored amongst your own people doesn't mean you're not them. That's like saying Michael Jordan was honored amongst the basketball players. Does that mean he's not a basketball player? But these are the games that I've heard Christians use. Well, right here it says in Acts. You understand what I'm saying? All right, let's keep reading the Acts. Read that again, that precept.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 22. And they said Cornelius the centurion, a just man, one that feareth God and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from God by an holy angel to send for thee into his house and to hear words of thee. Then called he them in and lodged them, and on the morrow Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, he called and had called together his kinsmen and near friends. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him.
So Cornelius went to honor him. Right? Go ahead.
But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with them, he went in and found many that were come together.
Go ahead.
And he said unto them, Ye know how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Now they're going to go right here. They're going to go right here and they probably going to cut some of y'all. Read that again.
Says that he said unto them, You know how that it is an unlawful thing
Go ahead.
for a man that is a Jew to keep company.
So it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to what?
To keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
So God has showed me that I shall not call any man common or unclean. Who could, Kyle. Kyle. Go ahead. Break this down. Acts 10 and 28. Got brothers drinking water like it's wine. I see that. They got water in the red cups. I gotta bring more water. No, I'm saying I gotta get one. Out of here, bro. Break it down, Kyle. Rock over here flipping pages. Okay. Read Acts 28 first. No I don't want a precept yet. Break that down. What does Acts 10 and 28 mean? Break that down. Because if you on the streets and a Christian go there, what you gonna say? I mean, you know a brother's gonna have your back. We ain't never gonna let nobody get cut. But what will you say?
I would say you just
A little louder?
I would say off appearance and who someone is, you wouldn't understand that they're a Jew until you get to know them and test their spirit.
But when it says, and he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come onto one of another nation.
So it's like it's unlawful for Israelites to pretty much like get up with other like nations of people.
Where's that law at? Is that a law?
It's not a law.
Barak, is that a law? Is there any law that says an Israelite cannot come amongst somebody of another nation?
You just can't think of the ways. That's the law.
I'm gonna show you, right? I'm gonna show you what this is talking about. Let's go to, we're gonna go here first. We're gonna go to John 4 and 9. Let me show you what this is talking about.
This is John chapter 4 and verse 9. There saith the woman of Samaria unto him.
Saith the woman of what?
Of Samaria unto him.
Now, was this woman of Samaria an Israelite? Prove it. It's in the chapter.
Go to 6. Read 6.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. Now Jacob's well was there. Yawasap, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour.
So that's showing you that that's Jacob's well that they're drinking from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the verse in here where it says our fathers.
That's what I want. That's what I want. That's where you go to.
Right. But I'm told you he's the one that gave the well, right? So 12 says, "Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well?"
So who is she calling her father?
Jacob.
See how simple that is? And they're in Samaria. So what will she be? Northern. Of what?
Another nation.
Another nation. Yeah, you got a precept?
Nah, it's like a little Greek. You know what I'm saying?
A little what?
It's in the Greek.
Nah, brother, you gotta wait. We getting there. We getting there. You jumping the gun, man. I know where you want to go. Now read verse 9.
Verse 9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings.
For the what?
For the Jews have no dealings with the
The
Samaritans.
Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
So that's like the southern kingdom.
Southern and northern. Right? Now let's go to Jeremiah 15 and 19. Jeremiah 15 and 19.
Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 19. Therefore thus saith the Lord, if thou return, then I will bring thee again, and thou shalt stand before me. And if thou take forth the precious from the vial, thou shalt be as my mouth. Let them return unto thee.
Let them what?
Let them return unto thee. But return not thou unto them.
Go ahead.
And I will make thee unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee,
Read.
saith the Lord. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked.
And I will deliver thee out of the hand of what?
Of the wicked.
Go ahead.
And I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible.
So why am I reading this? Look what it says in 19. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, if thou return, then will I bring thee again, and thou shalt stand before me. Return to what? To the law, statutes, and commandments. Through Christ. Right? Ezekiel 11 and 15. Ezekiel 11 and 15.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 11 and 15. Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred.
The what?
The men of thy kindred.
Go ahead.
And all the house of Israel holy are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said,
Go ahead.
Get you far from the Lord.
Get you what?
Get you far from the Lord.
So the inhabitants of Jerusalem are telling all of the children of Israel outside the land what?
Get you far from the Lord.
Get you far from the Lord. This is what's going on here with Peter and Cornelius. Y'all understand? Read. Finish it up.
Get you far from the Lord.
Unto
us is this land given in possession.
Unto us is this land given in possession. Now let's go. Let me show you another precept. It's Malachi. I'm looking for it. I forgot exactly what it is. I ain't write this down. I just popped it in my head. Malachi 3 and 5.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment. It will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against the false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger.
And that what?
And that turn aside the stranger.
From what?
From his rights.
That turn aside the stranger, in this context, talking about the children of Israel from their right. That stranger is somebody who was what? Born outside of the land. Go ahead.
And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts.
Now watch this. This is how you know that stranger is an Israelite. Just read the next verse. It's the context.
Verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
So the Lord does not change, so the children of Jacob shall not be consumed. So those strangers that were being taken their right were not being given it by who? The inhabitants of Jerusalem. The powers that be at that time, especially after the building of the second temple. You understand? You got a precept?
Yeah.
Read it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 17.
I read that already, brother.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but you can read it again. You in the spirit.
For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they call thee an outcast, saying,
they call thee what?
An outcast. Saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after.
Come on. Let's go back to Acts 10 and 28.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 28. He said unto them, I know how that it is a lawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation, but God had showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Now, let's go to the Greek now. Okay? Let's go to the Greek and let's go for that word nation.
It is G246, alophilos. That word is from G.
No, I don't want the root yet.
Okay, come.
Read what this means.
It means foreign.
Foreign.
That is.
See, I don't even have to get deeper. Right. Foreign. Go ahead.
Foreign, that is specifically Gentile, one of another nation.
One of another nation. It's a foreigner. Now, let's go into the root of this, because this is a compound word.
Right.
Right? Alophilos is a compound word, right? Which is made up of two words. Go to G243 first.
G243, alos,
Alos. Go ahead.
a primary word. Else, that is, different. In many applications, more, one, another, and some and others, wise.
Okay.
Otherwise.
Now go to G44:3, which is what these two words are combined of.
Okay, so G5443, Fule.
Read the Strong's first, then we're going to go to the Thayers.
An offshoot. That
what?
is an offshoot.
An offshoot, meaning an offspring, meaning somebody of the same lineage. That's what that means. Go ahead.
That is race or clan.
Race or clan. Go ahead.
Kindred. Tribe.
So before we get into the Thayers, let's take the alos and the fule. Alos being another, fule being tribe.
Another tribe.
Or kindred. Now, read the Thayers.
Thayers lexicon, Fule, a tribe in the New Testament.
In the what?
In the New Testament.
Read.
All the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
It's right there. It's right there. It's very simple. Now, I'm going to show y'all something else. Abayak, I don't think I sent you this, but I'm going to send it to you, right? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. One second. All right. Let's send this right here. I'm going to send this for a reason. Abayak, I'm sending you some right now. I should have sent it earlier, Salaki. I'm sending you some right now, right? Y'all going off, man. I hear y'all. Good, good. Y'all dudes are silly, man. You got it up by y'all? Huh. My bad for sending it late. I found this in the archives.
Strongest is strong.
The strongest is strong. Why do they do that? The strongest Strong's concordance. The strongest of strong. Like, bro, y'all just trying to make money.
Just changing the definition of Esau.
Yeah, changing the definition of Esau again. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, you look at the Strongs now and all that, it says Esau's the progenitor of the Arabs.
Wow.
It's right there. They smart. They know what they doing. All right, look at this. Acts 10 and 28, right? This is from the Greek, right? So from certain Greek manuscripts, right? You got the Chester Beatty Papyri. You got a couple other that they find, right? And some of the Greek manuscripts that they found of Acts, right? This is what was found there. This is certain textual variants. But I'm showing you this for a reason. Read that.
It says, and he said to them, you know that it is unlawful for a man, a Jew, to join or approach a Philistine.
So it says Philistine here. And there's a reason why it says Philistine here. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why it says Philistine here. Because the men during this time, right, his name was Brenton, right? I forget his name. It's a whole other breakdown. But he also had Old Testament mixed with the book of Acts, right? Meaning a lot of the papyri that he found, there was Old Testament fragments and New Testament fragments. right? This is Chester Beatty, right? And it was a man named Breton, I forget his name, first name, last name, that helped translate it, right? All right, which will get you modern day Septuagint. Home of the breakdown. So the reason why they did this is look up the word for Philistine right now in the Hebrew. I'm gonna show you.
In the Hebrew, I got a precept too. H6430, Philistine. Patriot from H6429, a Pelishite.
No, that's not it. That's not what I'm looking for.
That's not what you want?
Mm-mm. I'll find it. Show you exactly what I want.
G246.
That's why he said Cornelius was a Philistine. That's what he was talking about.
That's exactly what he was talking about. See, now you understand.
Did you want H6429?
I want H6430, and I want the definition of the word. Not the Strongs. Go to the BDB.
Oh, I got the Brown Driver Bridge.
Yeah, go to the Brown Driver Bridge. Because anyway, go to the.
No, I got you.
Yeah, read that.
This is H6430 in the Brown Driver Bridge. Philistine. Immigrants.
What?
Immigrants.
Immigrants.
He's racist.
Foreigners. In the Greek text, right? If you see a lot of these fragments from the Greek text, the word alophilos, right, is used in these passages. 1 Samuel 13:3, Psalms 108:9, Isaiah 2:6, and Isaiah 61:5. And it's denoting in the Greek aliens or foreigners or immigrants. So the reason why they translated it like this is because when they found it with the Old Testament, they compared the two and say, hold on, they're using this word alophilos in the Greek Old Testament for Philistines. So let me put that here. Since they're using alophilos in Acts 10:28, where they labeled it as Philistine. But it's what Philistine means. An immigrant, a foreigner. That's all it meant. Get up Peter real quick. Get Peter. In the NLT. 1 Peter 1:1. 1 Peter 1:1 in the NLT. Let me show you.
All right, so 1 Peter 1:1, 1:1 in the NLT.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is.
Y'all brothers singing.
First Peter chapter 1 and verse 1 in the NLT says, this letter is from Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ. I am writing.
Let everybody calm down. Y'all giggling too much. Let's get back to these scriptures, brother.
I am writing to God's chosen people who are living as foreigners.
As what?
As foreigners.
Immigrants. Foreigners. Aliens. Go ahead.
What version is that?
First Peter chapter 1 and verse 1.
Pay attention, brother.
I am writing to God's chosen people.
NLT. Go ahead.
Who are living as foreigners in the provinces of Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Keep reading. Next verse.
Verse 2. God the Father knew you and chose you long ago. And
so God the Father knew you and chose you long ago. In the King James, it calls them the elect. That's Isaiah what? 45:4. You see? So, Skycast. So, what you have to understand is these strangers, these foreigners, right here, these aliens are Israelites. Read that again, verse 2.
God the Father knew you and chose you long ago. And
God the Father knew you and chose you. Who did he choose? Israelites. Finish it up.
And his spirit has made you holy. As a result, you have obeyed him and have been cleansed by the blood of Jesus Christ.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
All right.
That was off.
There was two. Amen.
The music was perfectly synchronized. That's
Keep reading. Keep reading. Keep reading. I'm not going. No, you're going off, brother. This is how I know you a tribalist. Look, Mayar said Cornelius is a Mexican because he's an immigrant. No, I can't. Nah, you're off, bro. You're off, bro. I'm gonna pull some statistics on Haiti, let's read Acts 10:28 again. Read Acts 10 and 28 again. Yeshaya hating me right now. Read Acts 10 and 28. Read that. Read.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 28. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Go ahead.
Therefore came I unto
So now
you.
we understand that through the Greek, through the precepts, and even through other people translating stuff in the 1800s with other Greek Old Testament texts, all this is talking about he's an Israelite. All the context clues from verse 1 to verse 28, and even verse 28 itself shows he's an Israelite. Go ahead.
So, real quick, so
Yeah.
pretty much Peter was saying to him, like, you're considered a heathen. It's unlawful for us to be around.
It was a tradition.
Right.
There was a tradition for the people of Judea to not deal with
Right.
Israelites scattered abroad.
Right.
That's why Paul had to say what? He said to the Jew first, then the Greek. Because unto the Jews were what? Committed the oracles of God. So the people that were in Judea, they were sent Christ. Because they were the ones that still had the Torah and the Tanakh. The people scattered abroad didn't have this. They didn't hear of the name of the Lord. Right? Not saying that they weren't synagogues in different provinces, but people didn't want to convert or come back or be a proselyte. That's why, what did the Pharisees do? They created proselytes through all the places that Greece was. Doesn't mean they were taking heathens. They were taking people they knew were Jews. If not, why wouldn't the Pharisees bug out? They were bugging out. What are you doing? This guy's uncircumcised. This guy's this guy's that. Right? So let's go back. Acts. Y'all understand?
Verse 29. Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying, and since I was sent for you, I asked therefore, what intent ye have sent for me? And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour, and at the 9th hour I prayed in my house, and behold, men stood before me in bright clothing.
An angel. Okay.
And said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thine alms are had in remembrance in the sight of God. And send therefore to Joppa, and call the Simon, whose surname is Peter. He is lodged in the house of one Simon, a tanner by the seaside, who, when he cometh, shall speak unto thee.
Go ahead.
Immediately, therefore, I sent to thee, and thou hast well done that thou art come.
Go ahead.
Now, therefore, are we all here present before God to hear all things that are commanded thee of God. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons.
Now, God is no respecter of persons. Now, Christians butcher this. They have no idea what this is talking about. God is not. I'm an Israelite. God is not a respecter of persons. Get that in Exodus.
I got it.
Read that. You know what I want.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter.
Quicker with the sword, brother.
Salat.
Come on, man. I gotta be quick with that sword, man. Gotta use Google.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Somebody faster, get it with Google. Somebody. Be playing around. Respect KJV.
Respect unto Israel.
Oh, it's Exodus chapter 2 and 25.
Yeah, read that.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 2 and 25.
Okay.
And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them.
So God had respect unto Israel. So what does respect of persons mean? Precept. Precept, brother. I better hurry up. I'm about to get it. Go Deuteronomy 1 and 16, man.
Isn't that in the law?
It is in the law.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 16.
In Romans 2, that's what you. Yeah, read that.
And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren and judge righteously.
And what?
Judge righteously.
Judge righteously.
Right.
Go ahead.
Between every man and his brother and the stranger that is with him.
Mhm.
You shall not respect persons in judgment.
You shall not what?
Respect persons in judgment.
That's what being a respecter of persons is. So hold on. So if they're I'm telling you, man, if somebody is a king or if somebody is a peasant, if they both commit adultery and there's witnesses and all of that, they both face the same penalty. Being a respecter of persons is, I'm gonna let you get away with that because you're a king. But the peasant I'm gonna kill. You understand?
God.
Read the law again. Read 17. Finish it up.
You shall not respect persons in judgment, but you shall hear the small as well as the great. You shall not be afraid to face a man, for judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
Now get Proverbs 28 and 21. Read that real quick.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 21. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress.
For a piece of bread,
Damn.
that man will transgress. Meaning, for any little thing, you will look past the judgment that you're supposed to give because you're gaining something in return. You understand? So I caught a brother doing something, and the brother like, brother, I'll buy you a garment, and you like, that's why I'm coming. I don't want no snitch. You off over there. You off. Nah, bro. All jokes aside, that's what being a respected person is. That's what being a respected person is. Yo, y'all off, man. I can't stand it. That's what being a respected person is. You understand? Huh? All right. Let's go back to Acts.
Audio is tripping.
Audio's tripping. What y'all talking about, man? Audio tripping?
Get him, yeah.
Yo.
I was like, what are you doing?
I don't know, man. You know, I don't know technical stuff, man. I only know the Bible, bro. I only read books. He said it's choppy. Everybody turn off your Wi-Fi, man. Going off, man. Shai gonna figure it out. He's a prophet. How long has it been choppy? We good? All right, we good. All right, go back to Acts. Technical difficulties.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness.
Go ahead. Hold on. Read it again. My bad.
Verse 35.
Yeah.
But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. Read.
Okay. Verse 36.
Go ahead.
The word which God sent.
The word which God sent unto who?
Unto the children of Israel.
Unto who?
The children of Israel.
Unto who?
The children of Israel.
If you just keep reading the chapter, Mr. Christian, the word was sent unto the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Preaching peace by Jesus Christ, he is the Lord of all.
So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Cornelius is a heathen. Right? What y'all doing, man? Huh?
I got stuff in yours.
Come on, man. Y'all don't do that in the middle. Anyway, pull up those pictures. Musical chairs in the middle of madness. Pull up these pictures, man.
For the evidence.
There you go, Manashah. Manashah in the spirit. So this is a book, right? The Gazetteer of the Old and New Testament, to which is added to the natural history of the Bible by William Fleming, right? Some good stuff in there. Go to the next page. Zoom in. I'm gonna give you my phone. Start at consisting of, right? Your Roman army consisting of. Just go there.
Says of the Roman army consisting of from 400 to 600 men.
Which is just talking about what a band consists of, right? Okay.
Says the Italian band, probably a band or regiment that was composed of soldiers from Italy, in distinction from those which are composed of soldiers born in provinces.
Mm-hmm.
It is evident that many of the soldiers in the Roman army would be those who were born in other parts of the world.
So many of the soldiers in the Roman army were those who were born in other parts of the world. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Which is just another, just aligning with all the other sources I brought out. Go ahead.
It says it is evident that many of the soldiers in the Roman army would be those who were born in other parts of the world, and it is altogether probable that those who were born in Rome or Italy would claim preeminence over those enlisted in other places.
Go ahead.
It says a devout man, pious, or one who maintained the worship of God.
One who maintained the worship of God. So he's literally breaking certain stuff down in this chapter, right? Go ahead.
Says, or one who maintained the worship of God, one that feared God. This is often a designation of piety. It has been supposed by many that the expressions here used denote that Cornelius was a Jew.
That Cornelius was what?
A Jew.
So I'm not making this up. I didn't write this. I didn't do none of that. This is a Christian. Keep reading.
That Cornelius was a Jew, or was instructed in the Jewish religion, was a proselyte.
Now, a proselyte. Then they go there. But it says proselyte. What does a proselyte mean? Huh? Somebody who converts. Right? Now let's give this understanding. Go to Isaiah 1:27.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 27. Zion.
What?
Zion.
What?
Zion.
Okay.
Shall be redeemed with judgment.
Shall be redeemed with judgment.
And her converts.
And what?
And her converts.
Whose converts? Zion. Go ahead.
And her converts with righteousness.
Okay. What's the word there for converts?
Shawah.
It's shawah, which means what?
To turn back.
To turn back. Return. How can you turn back and return to something you were never a part of? That means that had to be Israelites who were coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Get that in Psalms 19. How do you convert?
Psalms 119 and 9. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119.
No. Well, you can read that. What that say?
And verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
Yeah.
By taking heed thereunto thy word.
That taking what?
By taking heed thereto, according to thy word.
According to thy word. Get the other one in 19 and 7.
Psalm chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Say it again.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. So if the laws was given to the children of Israel, that converts you. If the word was given to the children of Israel, and that converts you, a proselyte or a convert would be what? An Israelite. Now let's go to Acts 2 and 5. We're going to close there. We're going to go right back to Acts 2 and 5.
The book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 5. And they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews.
No heathen.
Jews.
Not a white man.
Jews.
Not a Chinese man.
Jews.
Not a Hamite.
Jews.
Not a Japanese.
Jews.
I ran out of nations.
Jews.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it again.
And they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews. Devout men.
Keep going too. All I have to go ahead. Read it again.
Devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now let's go to verse 9.
Verse 9. Parthians.
They were Jews.
And Medes.
They were Jews.
And Elamites.
They were Jews.
And dwellers in Mesopotamia.
They were Jews.
and in Judea,
They were Jews.
and Cappadocia,
Jews.
in Pontus,
Jews.
and Asia,
Jews.
Persia,
Jews.
Pamphylia,
Jews.
in Egypt,
Jews.
and in parts of Libya, about Cyrene,
Jews.
and strangers of Rome,
Jews.
Jews,
Jews. Go ahead.
and proselytes.
And what?
And proselytes.
Which are what?
Jews.
Jews. Because these are devout men out of every nation under heaven. Jews. So those proselytes are Jews.
Right.
There you go. Very simple. Very simple. So what is Cornelius? He's an Israelite. See how simple that is? No if or buts about it.
Why would you tell him that he's sent unto the children of Israel? He's not Israelite.
Yeah, why would you tell him that? You sent them to the children of Israel, but you're not an Israelite. It's weird. Right? But the problem with Christians, they don't have reading comprehension. And I always say this, they go into the Bible with a doctrine already. So if I'm going into the Bible and I already believe in the Trinity, I'm gonna find it. Let's go to 1 John 5:7. If I'm going into the Bible thinking that Christ came for everybody, I'm gonna look for it and find it in there when it's not there. Because the context is gonna cut you, the prophecies are gonna cut you, the precepts are gonna cut you, and common sense is gonna cut you. You understand? So anybody got any questions?
When it says Arabians, is it just talking about the Jews that were in Arabia or present in Arabia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how Paul was a Roman citizen, was given this
Right.
citizenship in different nationality.
Can I read 35:36?
Huh?
In Acts 35:36.
No, that's good. That's good.
In verse 28, when Peter said that,
And Acts 10?
yeah,
Yeah.
when Peter said that it's unlawful, why would he use the word unlawful? Is that just like the laws that like
It was
the governing-
oral tradition.
The governing, like governing class, basically.
It was oral tradition at the time. It's just like being married. And when you go into the book of Matthew, and you go into the book of Luke, and they get so confused with the virgin birth, right? When there's no virgin birth. What did Joseph say?
Make her a public.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make her a public example. If you go back 50 years, right? Well, if you got a girl pregnant, and this is 50 years ago, you got a girl pregnant, right? That the hell going on, man? Creatures. If you get a girl pregnant that you weren't married to, they were gonna talk junk out.
That's a fact.
That's only 50 years ago. You were like, you not married? Y'all gotta get married. Y'all in sin.
China or in the household.
Fornication, right? They start saying all this stuff. Even though we understand what marriage is, we understand what fornication is, but these are traditions. So there were certain traditions that they abide by during those times. And Peter, Paul, James, Christ grew up in those traditions. You understand? You got a precept? Read it.
This is Galatians chapter 2 and verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. For before that, certain came from James. He did eat with the Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision.
You see that? So who were the people of the circumcision? Those were the Jews that were in Judea, the Pharisees primarily. They were the people of the circumcision or the concision, as Paul says. They were the people that were bringing in false doctrine. They were hypocrites. That's what they were. You see that all throughout the Gospels, especially, just read Matthew 23. You see that they were hypocrites. So that's the reason why he was saying that. It was a tradition, right? That's why you had a lot of traditions. This is where you get like the midrash from. And we wrote those things. We began the writings of the Talmud. That comes from us. Then you get some craziness that began to come centuries later in medieval times by these damn freaking small hats, right? So that's what that's talking about. Khan?
So I had a question. When you brought out Jeremiah 30 and 17, when you said restore thee unto health, you were saying that was the Pharisees that were kicking out those foreigners, which were our people. But when I read this verse, I always read it from like these were our actual enemies, because right here it says, saying, this is verse 17, going down to saying, this is Zion whom no man seeketh after. You know what I'm trying to say? So I just want to know how you say is the Pharisees,
Go to, I'm gonna show you now. Go to Hosea 12 and 10. I'm gonna show you now. You're right. What is the verse before it said?
Yeah, so it's 16, right? This is verse 16 in Jeremiah 30.
Read it up.
Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity.
And we know that's who?
The other nations.
The other nations. Read that.
Shall go into
Hold
captivity.
on. Read that.
Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions.
And I what?
Multiplied visions.
Get Job 11 and 6. I'm gonna show you something.
It's the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6.
Stay there. Stay there. Go ahead.
And he will show thee the secrets of wisdom.
I'll show you the secrets of wisdom. Go ahead.
That they are double to
That they are what?
That they are double.
That they are what?
That they are double.
So do scriptures only mean one thing when you read it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But what I'm trying to say is, how could you say?
Read it again.
This is the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6. And that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom.
The what?
The secrets of wisdom.
Read.
That they are double.
That they are what?
They are double.
That they are double.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Manashah?
Double, like you said, and has go many ways.
There you
So,
go.
but the question that
I just answered your question.
here it is. This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after.
Yeah. Read it again.
It's the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6. And that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom.
What does that mean?
Secrets of wisdom. This is exactly what it says.
Let me show you another example. Go to Revelation 2 and 9. I'm gonna show you something. Go to Revelation 2 and 9.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
What is this talking about, Manashah?
Those that say they are Jews and are not.
What's this talking about?
Contextually, it can mean those are not Jews inwardly.
How do you use it in the streets? I pray you understand, Doc. Read it again.
I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
How do you use that in the streets? If Amalek walks up to you now, you're going to read that to him.
Absolutely.
Contextually, is that talking about Amalek?
No.
I pray you understand, Doc. Is that simple? Okay. Any other questions? No?
Oh, yeah. One.
Go ahead, Manashah. I knew you had another one. Everybody clap it up for Manashah, man. God. Y'all love this brother. Go ahead, Manashah.
I was feeling.
He's a prophet. He's a prophet. He's a prophet.
I was listening in the car. I just didn't want to bring it because I didn't want to backtrack.
What's the other question?
When you saying like Paul at the time, he was claiming he was a citizen. How did he prove that back then? You had like
Paperwork.
Paperwork?
Absolutely.
Oh, they have paperwork back then.
Absolutely. They have paperwork. They have paperwork for circumcision.
You got a license, Social Security.
Right. There's nothing new under the sun. They have paperwork for circumcision. They weren't just pulling people's. You think Jews were pulling people's pants down?
Yo, wow.
What are you doing? You're not circumcised. They weren't doing that. They had a record of circumcision. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a medical history.
They had their stripes.
That'd be wild, bro. That'd be wild. But That'd be crazy. But you understand? Any other questions? God, give it up for Mother Shah again, man. So crazy for Mother Shah, man. Hey, no other questions?
I'm not from Pandem Aqueduct. This is Psalm chapter 119. This is Bayah. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee, O let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. With my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies, as much as in all riches. I will meditate in thy precepts, and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word. In the name of Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, the one that's God, Amen.
Amen. Amaja Sabat. Amaja. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatam.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakathum.